Hello and welcome to Just Us Thinking. I'm your host, Michael.
And I'm Chad with the Proud American Patriot Podcast. I'll be your co-host today. How you doing, Mike?
I'm doing pretty good. You're taking Rebecca's place here.
I am. We gonna do a little bit of unboxing and some D&D stuff.
Yep. So she was amateur hour. She's new to gaming. So we want to talk about this box we're going to talk about today is a little bit more Game Master related.
Yeah.
So.
Which kind of brings us to another kind of joint venture that we're doing.
Yeah, we're going to start another podcast.
Yep, the Gamers Party of Six podcast.
Yep. Now we've recorded a couple episodes already.
We have. Yeah, we got a couple of them going, and probably get another few in the bank, and then start releasing them.
I think we're waiting for a couple more. So stay tuned. Start watching for those coming out. So I think starting us off on here. Let's go to the box of the hour, right? So this is going to be the Game Master Toolbox, and I'm going to kind of lift it up there. It's a black box. It's pretty simple, pretty basic, right?
Yeah.
Now this one's not sealed. The other ones were sealed, so we're going to see here, and you're actually on camera going to see how we open it here. All right, look at that. We have tissue paper.
It's a box of tissue paper. That's what the Game Master gets.
So, yeah, and we're going to peel this back, and we don't know what's in here. So, we're going to peel it back. What do we got here? Oh, when you open it up, that's what you're going to look at. So, this is going to be fun. All right,
let's dig into it.
Yeah, let's dig into this and pull this back here. I'm going to move our board up here. Let me fold this down like that. All right. So me and Rebecca went back and forth picking stuff. So I think we should do that. And since you're a guest, you should go first.
Well, I'm going to start with this little bag here. It's a bag of dice. Anyone who knows me knows that I love my dice. So I've got quite the collection.
We all, if you're not a dice goblin by day 2.
The girls turned into dice goblins super quick.
Yeah, it's amazing that they'll go and buy dice, and they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna buy it for this," and then they change their mind, and all of them that they belong to them. What colors we got?
Looks like we got Rebecca would like these. They're purple.
Oh, damn it!
So we got some dice here. I'm gonna put them down so we can get a good look at them.
All right, let's move those up right underneath the camera there. Oh, that has a...
It's got the bonus...
That has a bonus
metal die.
Okay. It's a bonus metal dice?
Yep.
Oh,
and it's gold. You know, to me, if you're playing a character that comes from royalty, this is the perfect set of dice where you got purple and gold.
Damn it, this is Rebecca's colors, too. Can we say that we didn't get these dice from her?
We can hide them. Although she sits right next to you at the gaming table, so she'd pick up on it quickly.
Yeah, damn it. I like those dice, but she's going to call dibs. And I got to live with her.
Yeah.
That's bullshit.
I can take them. I'm a dice goblin. I can always use more dice.
We all could all. Yeah. All right. I think I'm going to go next here. Let's see what else we have here. I got a package. I don't even know what this is.
Nice bag.
It's a dice bag, yeah. I just bought like 2 dice bags.
If you have a lot of dice, you can never have enough dice bags.
Oh, they're after my own heart.
Yeah.
Look at that. Isn't that kind of cool? I'll put it on the main camera here.
D&D shot glass.
Yep. It has a D20 on it. Look at that. And I'm going to put some of the dice back up here for just representation there. So, I mean, that's not a mini shot glass.
No,
we're going to leave those dice up there too. I think those are going to sit up there for a while. Did I get them all?
Yep, you got them all.
All right. I think so just for comparison, that D20 on there is almost as big as, a little bigger than an actual D20. Yep. So that's actually a nice shot glass. Yeah, that's not a joke.
No, it's not a cheap plastic thing.
That is not cheap plastic.
No. That's a nice shot glass. And, if you're at an all-adult table,
Yeah.
You get some of those. If you critically fail, you take a shot.
Oh yeah, I love those. If you really screw up in the game, you could really have a lot of shots. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. All right.
Yeah.
I picked. What you're gonna pick next?
I think I'm gonna take this deck of cards here. It's At Mars Cartography.
All right.
There, get a good look at it, and we'll see what it has in it.
It's sealed.
It is on both sides.
You're
we'll rectify
kidding me.
that momentarily.
Yeah, because we always have a knife somewhere on us, right?
Yes, I don't go anywhere without the trusty knife.
I'm not gonna ever find the proud American patriot without a knife at all. And it's a patriotic knife too, isn't it?
It is. I'll give everyone a look there. It's got a little flag on it, and
Yep.
that's my everyday carry around. I will tell you that I believe, as a proud American patriot, that every man should have 3 things on them: a pocket knife, a writing utensil, preferably a nice pen, and a lighter.
Yep. Survival stuff.
It's survival, and it's just stuff you need every day.
Yep.
Even if you don't smoke, carry around a lighter.
Oh yeah.
If nothing else, it's a good way to start a conversation.
You can pick up chicks that way, right?
Yeah.
You know, if they smoke, they poke, right?
If they smoke, you poke.
You hope. How much plastic are you gonna?
I shouldn't have picked this one. It's too much work to get into.
I'm glad you picked it now. You deal with all that
Yeah.
work. If there's a knife in this bag, in this box, I'm gonna be happy. I don't think there is, but
So let's see here.
all right, what do we got?
Oh, so this is great for a DM.
Oh, yep.
I'll kind of put these up here. I don't know how well you can see them. We'll put them down in just a moment, but it is a deck of just parts of a dungeon that you can piece together and make your dungeon. I'm going to move these out of the way a little bit just so you can get an idea.
Yep, get those out of the way. And so is it just, I'm going to pull some of these out just to see.
Here we'll give kind of a good view of one of them. So yeah, you can take these and just kind of piece them together from where one goes to the other and really quickly put yourself together a dungeon. I will love something like this because anyone that's DM'd before knows that you can take a lot of time trying to build a dungeon and trying to think of ideas to make it look just right.
That is really, really kind of awesome. Right, Mikey? You like that? Are you ready for this?
Ready for what?
This dungeon.
Yeah.
These are dungeon cards.
This is going to be a scary dungeon.
It could be.
After I drop some mobs in it, it definitely will be.
So, and the good thing on there, I will tell you that I like about those cards are they're numbered. So if you know where, if you could create monsters for each of those, basically, sections. And then you could just randomly put them wherever you want.
Oh, yeah.
And if you have a cheat sheet of, like this one right here says 39. So 39 has a family of hobgoblins.
Yep.
I'm going to just randomly pull up. Number 47 has giants. You could, that's.
And you have, it makes it real quick and easy for a DM because you have that number there. So in, like you said, room 39, you've got a family of 4 hobgoblins.
Right.
You have that. You drop their stat block on your cheat sheet as well, and you've got everything you need right there. It's just a matter of how you piece it together, and with the numbers like that, you can even kind of write out where things go because you might not necessarily be setting this up at the table for the first time. So
right.
You set it up at home, and if the table isn't at your home, you can put it back together and then just lay it out real nicely. This is one of the best things I've seen for a DM to quickly get prepared.
I agree.
And plus, you know what? If you want to just have something random pop up, you can make a random dungeon out of this so quick.
Yeah, I could see that totally being easy.
Take 6-7 random cards and then just piece them together.
What I like about this too is anybody that plays module and stuff like that. I like module, don't get me wrong. However, when you don't want your players to see the whole map, you have to put your paper kind of goofy.
Right.
This eliminates that.
Yeah, because each one of these is a room, so you go from room 1 here to room 39.
Yeah.
And all they see is room 1 there.
Right.
And then as they go through this exit over here, here's the next room you're going into. And you just put that right down next to it, and there you go. You build the dungeon as you go. So as the DM, this is great because you have your list of where what corridors go to.
Yeah.
And then you just play them down as they go into those corridors. And I think, are these... I thought some of them looked like that. No, I guess they're not multi-sided, but that's okay. That makes it even better because then you can just have it sitting like this with the back side down and flip it over to show them where they're going into.
Yeah, that would work great. Wow, that's really cool. Those are awesome. Those are great.
Yeah.
All right, I think I'm next on the pick, aren't I?
I'm going to move these cards and stack them up for us so they're not taking up the whole display tray there.
Oh, yeah, that's a lot of cards. All right, I'm going to go next, and I'm going to pick something you like. So this says the shop of many things. It says elemental ink pen, so I'm going to hold that up there like that. I will open this up for you just to kind of see what we have. Let's see. God, these packages are a little tight, aren't they?
They are.
That's what she said. Okay, so I'm going to put these down on front of the camera there. There's a couple of them there. I'm holding one still. Yeah, they're just regular ink pens. So you have blue, black, and red for ink pens. I don't know. What do you think about ink pens in the game?
I don't normally use pens just because it's permanent, and with D&D, typically things are changing all the time.
Yeah.
But the nice thing about the multicolor is, if you're doing pen and paper for your notes and you need something that's going to jump out for when you get back to it, if you're doing everything in black and then you switch to a red for that part, makes reading your notes a lot easier and knowing, oh, this is important. Or, when I type up my notes on my laptop, I'll do different colors because black is the narrative that I'll give to the players, and then in red I'll put stuff that's just for me as far as what might be in that room that they're going to discover.
Okay. So as far as a player goes, I don't like pens because you're right, they change. I would not like to see a player put pen mark on their player sheet just because they're going to change. There's exceptions to that, and that would be if you need to add a stat block that the sheet doesn't normally have.
Right.
Or something that is going to be a permanent change on there. As far as a DM goes, I could see these. This is the DM box, so I could totally see those being good for a DM. And you're right, the different colors. You could say storyline is going to be this black one. The red one is going to be like monster encounters, and then the blue is the characters or whatever character, whatever.
Or environmental effects or anything like that. Just that in your mind you see that color and you can say, okay, I'm changing from what I'm giving the characters. Let me read this real quick. Here's what's going to happen next. You're walking through this cave, and you feel a shudder, and it starts to cave in behind you.
Yeah.
Well, that's something maybe I'd put in blue just so that it draws my attention to it and lets me know, okay, I need to set maybe a scene that's a little bit more tense and they have to act a little quicker.
Yeah, I could see the use and the different colors. If it was a single pen, I wouldn't say it's worth it. The 3-pen set with the different colors, I think, just adds that little bit. Wayne that puts these together really does think. I think he really thinks that through.
Well, and he's someone that's been playing for a long time, many years. He's been game mastering many years. So he has that mindset of these are things I can use while I'm running the game, and some of these are things that maybe he doesn't need all the time, but maybe in a pinch.
Yeah,
I could use this for something. So I'm going to grab the next one here because I think when I'm talking about in a pinch, I just kind of saw this poking out. I saw this, and this is one of those things that, depending on how you track it, it's an initiative tracker. And this is one of those things that, again, is great for a DM.
Yeah.
You've got where you can put their initiative, the character name, their AC, and their hit points. And if you want to take a look at it.
Yeah, before we put that on the main camera, I want to see that. And it's a pad, so it's several in there. I will tell you this along with Yahtzee sheets.
Yeah.
You're going to make copies of this, and you're going to have. So I would probably put 4 of these on a printer and print it out, so I could have copies when I get down to the last few.
Mm-hmm.
Or if I think about it ahead of time, I generally won't, so I'll have to go right back down to Dungeon Crate and buy another one. You're going to get me on that anyway. So let me put that on the camera there.
And the nice thing about that, and I may steal that from you for our game that we run. Take a little bit more time, but I track everything as far as initiative on my computer. But the nice thing about that is you can fill this out so that when the party is in an encounter and there's combat, fill that out, tape it to the other side of my computer or to my dungeon screen. So the party can see what that initiative order is too, because things start happening and it's easy to skip someone in initiative order.
It is. And now this is where you and I differ a little bit, because you do a lot of the stuff on the computer.
Mm-hmm.
And I could see the value out of that. I like everything written down. And computers, you got power supply. There's been a lot of times where we've been playing and you're like, oh, my initiative order went away.
Yeah.
So if it's written down, it's there. I don't know. I mean, I can see both ways. I see a valid both ways. I will tell you, now that we have the sheets, you may want to switch over to the sheet. Maybe for just initiative, that might be a different deal. Or here's the other thing with it. If you're running multiple monsters and you want to say, hey, this sheet's going to be my monsters and I'm going to run through that, that's great. I will tell you another thing that I would like to see too, and I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. I am going to steal that. I'm going to steal one of those, and you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to laminate it.
Yeah.
That way I can do dry
erase
erase marker on it, and it could change all the time.
Yeah, and that's another great thing with something like this is you take a few of these and laminate them. If nothing else, then players can just kind of mark down where on this they are in initiative.
Right.
Because how many times are we in the middle of combat and someone says, well, when is my turn up?
Right. God, that'd be nice.
And the other thing I like about that, the website that I use for tracking initiative is Cobalt Fight Club, which they're great, but you can't really, at least I haven't found a way to differentiate between all the monsters. So if you throw a pack of goblins at them, it essentially gives you goblin 1, 2, 3, 4. I can use this to write down a little bit more and keep track of where they are in the combat.
Right, because it doesn't tell you which goblin's the boss or the caster or something like that.
Right. It breaks down depending on the monster because it pulls everything from the D&D source books. So I can put in a goblin war chief or something.
Oh, okay.
So it'll differentiate between that. But if I've just got 6 goblins that the party's going up against, it just gives me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh.
But with this, I can kind of make notes as far as drawing lines and everything. Just my sloppy way of taking care of as far as who's engaged with who, because
if you put the character's initials right next to who's fighting who, that will help you keep track. And if you can't do that online, that's actually better. Okay.
Right.
I think it's my turn, and I'm going to pull the other pad. Let's leave that pad right there.
Okay, you're just going to put that one on top of it?
I'm just going to put this on top. So this is a grid pattern, so it's another grid pad. It basically has squares. It's a dungeon mapper is what it is. I don't know about these little. I'm gonna put this on right there on the main camera. How do you feel about these kind of sheets?
So the first time I saw that when I was down at Dungeon Crate, I thought it was kind of pointless because realistically, you're not going to draw a dungeon on something this small.
Well, but if you're doing it room by room.
Well, I started thinking about it, and that's kind of what I thought. This you can use to, if you go your old, which I still do a lot of old school graph paper dungeons.
Yeah.
If you go to that, but then you want to zoom in on a room and put more features in there, your tables, your chairs, environment things. Maybe there's a fireplace.
Oh,
this would be good for that because it's kind of zooming in on that room.
When you said that, it just dawned on me what that could be used for. So in our campaign that we're running, we have a tower that was basically customized to us.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you said you gave us graph paper and you said design your tower.
Right.
You could have given everybody one of these sheets,
And
everybody could have
room.
designed their own room,
Right.
where their bed was, everything. That way, you have an idea of what the setup was, and it kind of engages them a little bit more.
Definitely. I'm all for engaging players in helping create that world.
Yeah. Well, and here's the thing: what people don't understand is when you get them to learn how to map up on something like that. I still, to this day, will say if I'm moving my living room around and I'm readjusting it, I like to take something like that, and I could say, well, if I put this here, here, what room am I going to have, or what it's going to look like? I could mock it up, and I could see what it's going to look like. If you start getting those skills here, learning that when you're playing D&D, that's a skill that you can take in the real life. So
definitely, and that doesn't sound like something real big as far as, I'm going to rearrange my living room, and here's where I'm going to put this, here's where I'm going to put that, unless you've done it.
Oh, yeah.
Because moving furniture is not fun and easy. And, just this last year, because of things that had happened at my house, I had to rearrange everything. And thankfully, you and Mikey came over and helped me. But it's, even if you get down to a couple ideas doing that.
Yeah.
And then it's okay, I'm going to move this and see what looks better. You're not moving the furniture all day long. You've got 2, maybe 3 ideas.
Right.
So, yeah, graphing something out at a young age and learning that spatial, not spatial awareness, but where everything is spatially against each other is a really good tool to have.
And I used to always do that. Now I've gotten to the point where, like when I went over to your house, I looked at it. I could look at it and go, in my mind, I have this running in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
It was already there. I'm like, if we do this, that should look pretty cool. We did it. It looked great.
Yeah.
I mean...
It made that area that we sit in to watch TV and just hang out a lot more functional and a lot more conversational. So
yeah. So people, I hate when people say, "Oh, that's so stupid." I don't, that's pointless. If that's your opinion on something like that, there's no one's going to change your opinion. But if you could see everything as multiple use, that's what you could do. Yeah, you're next, aren't you?
Yeah.
All right, what are you going to pick?
I see something in there, but I'm going to save that for last because I think that's kind of something big for it.
Okay.
So we're going to take this little pack, and these, again, for a DM, these are going to be great. You probably can't see it real well through the plastic that's on there, but we'll see if this one will let me rip it open.
Yep.
There's a certain spot right below where the hanging hole is.
Yep. Dun, dun, dun. So these are going to be little...
I know exactly what these are, and these are, again, something that is
and they're multiple.
Great. Yes, there's several in there, and they've got to finish, so I'm almost thinking you may be able to dry erase on these.
Oh, okay.
But for these, it's got a place for players' names, so you could probably use it for players as well, just for quick cards. But here we'll get a little bit closer and see if people can make out what that says. For me as a DM...
Here, give me a couple. I'll put a couple.
Yeah.
Here, I'm going to take
gonna
one,
be great.
you take one, and I'm going to put them on the main camera so you can see what we're talking about right there. So, Mikey, you see those pretty good?
I can.
All right, good. So those are what those look like. So let's take a look and see.
And for me, for a quick NPC or something like that, this is phenomenal because unless it's going to be a major NPC that's going to be a long part of that story, you don't need to really flush everything out. If it's just someone that they find along the road that they're helping to get back to the next town that was maybe injured or something, or just any NPC that they're going to interact with that you maybe need some quick stats for. It's just a quick little spot for their name, their level, their stat blocks, AC, hit points, and then the other things that you're going to need, such as their initiatives, their walking speed, their passive wisdom, the proficiency bonuses, and their spell save CD. So these are just a quick little NPC in a box, essentially.
Yeah, I really do like these. These are pretty cool. Now, here's a problem that I have with any kind of D&D and tabletop. Us players are kind of a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Okay?
You go where I don't want you to.
Yeah.
But that's my fault because I like to run a open world sandbox game. And
well, it's not only that, but there's a lot of times where we will like someone that's supposed to be like a just a pass through character, we end up befriending and making friends. So I mean, I hate to say it, but you almost have to make stats for every scenario. And having, I mean, as many as there are of these, you can organize and have a couple pre characters. Here's a good thing about these, because if you're going to create a random encounter and you need a random person that you may have to fight, you may not have to fight, you don't know where that is.
Right.
You could like turn these, you could have all these filled out, turn them overside and say, you ran into this person on this road.
Yeah, and that is exactly what I was going to say. Like with the other sheets, you could even take these, make copies of them.
Yeah.
Or just take this format, and if you're something that does everything on a computer, kind of take these and just make a little Excel.
Oh, yeah.
And you've got random characters there. You make 20, 30 of these that you just pull out whenever and randomly select one. If you do it with the cards, then you just have them all in the box and you pull one out.
Yeah.
There are a ton of different ways you can do this, but I am definitely going to steal this idea for my random characters from Dungeon Crate.
Well, I bought this for the intention of using it for our gameplay, so I figure anything that we could enhance. So if I would say if you're GMing, whoever's GMing is going to be able to use this.
Yep.
And then if I switch over to GMing, because I do as well, we could do that. So all right, I think I'm next on the pick, aren't I?
You are.
I'm going to save the good stuff for you. I'm going to pick some of the swag here, because I still like these. I've always liked these. I'll hold these up just like that, and then I'm going to put them right here on the card, right there. So there's a couple buttons for you. One's a dragon, and what is this one?
That looks like a spell book with a
little
bit
bit
of fire coming out of it,
with a phoenix or something rising out of it. Okay, I see it now. So again, I always love buttons. Now, people think buttons are stupid. I don't understand that. Everywhere I go through, and I could get like buttons. Now you ride Harley.
Mm-hmm.
How many Harley buttons do you have?
I don't have any Harley buttons, but I've got a bunch of Harley patches.
Right. So patches, buttons, whatever you're doing. For gameplay, I love this. Like Mikey has a jacket. Mikey, you have a jacket that has all kinds of what's in there?
A bunch of like pins.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What are the pins of?
Pokemon.
Yeah, nerd.
But even when I was younger, when I was my girl's age, Mikey's age, we traveled quite a bit, and it was fun to get a button from every place that you went to.
Right.
And then you had a jean jacket or whatever that you put the buttons on, and it's just,
here's
here's where I've been.
We all did that as a kid. I still do it for my vest, my motorcycle vest.
Yeah.
Every time I go somewhere, I grab a pin. Now those are different pins than these, but yeah, I love pins. We'll put them on the side of bags, and I don't know. If I go out and I see someone walking around, Mikey, if you see someone walking around with some Pokemon, Rebecca will see the Pokemon. They do this weird thing with their phone. So like she'll go Poke hunting, and she'll hold up her phone, and she does this like weird thing with her phone, and then they do this nod, and all of a sudden they're raiding together. It's like a second language. That's what these buttons are. That button, when I see someone walking around, I see a dragon button or something that is this style.
It's kind of a thieves' cant.
Yeah, it kind of is. I like them. I've always loved buttons. So, all right, I think the last one it's kind of all the paperwork. So,
I think so. I'm just going to take all of. Oh no, there's a couple of things in here. So
it's not what's going on here.
This has got more in it than that. So this is one. So it's got more than I thought in there.
Okay. Holy cow.
So
we're going to pull everything out, and then I'm going to pull the box out of the way here for us.
Yeah, here, I'll just take it and put it over here. Or you want to take it?
I'll throw it over here. I'll just throw it off camera here. If you hear that, nope, I landed on the futon. How about that?
So this one is Beasts of Burden, which this appears to be a module that Wayne and some of his cohorts wrote. I really like how they do their modules. Oops, I actually got a couple of them. Where he writes this out real nice and gives you all of the different information for the adventure. There's a section in here where it's about influencing and hurting the Shriek, which probably going to be a monster of some sort in here. But he also, at the back of it, gives you some magic items.
Oh, does he?
Mm-hmm. And then stat blocks for the monsters. So really, really nice. I'll let you kind of look through that while I look at the other stuff that's in here.
I'm going to put it right here on camera so it could go right here. While you're looking through this stuff, I'm going to kind of open this up. So it kind of Beast of Burden. And now, I want to say that there's like XP. Oh, there's a map. Yeah. Look at that.
Well, there's another map here that I'll get to. Now, from what he told me when I was in there the other day, all of his modules that they create are compatible with both D&D 5e and Pathfinder. So,
okay.
If that's great for if you go back and forth between games, or maybe you're not a D&D person, but you like the rule and the play of Pathfinder better.
Okay.
So this looks like it's the boss monster in the module. So
the Beast of Burden, and if you flip it over, you have his stat block. Mm-hmm. So that's really nice to have there.
Yeah. And this, I really like that he has a picture of the monster on it, because as a DM, I like to describe the whatever it is that you're facing.
Right.
But everyone gets kind of a little bit different ideas to what it looks like. So this is kind of a nice way to, after you describe it, say, here's what it looks like. And then it also has the magic item that's in it. And again, with the stat information for the magic item on the back. Another great thing, because how much time do we spend writing down the stats on different items that we get?
Oh yeah, you get you get your magic item, then you have to go to the website or the book. You open it up, you go through that, and then it's kind of I don't know it. And then you're trying to write on a character sheet. You end up getting another sheet. It's man, that is awesome.
Yeah, and then this one also has a little mini DM screen.
Okay.
And what I really like about this as a DM is, again, on the back of it, it has all the information that you need to run the module, looks like.
Oh, wow. So you get a little
as far as
screen.
monsters and everything else. Yeah, so it looks like it has a lot of that, other than kind of step-by-step, here's what room you're going into.
Right, it's a quick cheat sheet.
Yeah, definitely. And it looks like this was written by James Rodehaver, which I'm not sure who that is, but we will have to maybe do a one-shot through this sometime. And
I'm good with that. Do you know how many one-shots we have now with all these boxes I bought? And then, of course, there's a map here, too.
So the last thing that is in there is...
Oh, let's go to the big camera. Or let's go back over to us here. Because this... Holy cow. Let's hold that up.
That's a good-sized terrain map there for your adventure.
Holy cow, that's no joke. I'm going to put that back on the... Let's go back to the... table camera here. That's nice.
Mm-hmm. And what I love about maps like this is you don't just have to use this for this campaign. You can grab this and you're walking through an area where there's a burnt out farm, over here, and some burnt out crops or whatever you decide this is going to be.
Yeah.
Just a real nice thing to kind of set that stage for if you're using miniatures or tokens or something like that.
Yeah.
I really like Theater of the Mind, but sometimes when you get really deep into tactical combat, going to something like this is great so that everyone can see where they are in relation to the monsters and each other.
I agree. That way you have an understanding of distance and things like that. I like it because it's not huge.
Right.
It's not overpowered and it's not big. It's something that you could throw out on a quick table, and it's not going to hinder too much.
Right. Our gaming table with 6 of us sitting at the table and everything that everyone needs for character sheets, all the stuff that I need to DM, plus a couple of dice trays, it fills up quick. So something that's not real big like this is great.
Yeah, I agree. I think and that's the Beast of Burden package, right?
Right.
All right. So I'm going to clear the Beast of Burden, and then I'll clear while you go to the next one. How about that?
Well, I was going to leave the next one to you because it looks like there's 3 of them here. So
go for it. You're the guest. You have fun with it. I'm going to put the Beast of Burden while you're describing that here. So that way we keep them all together. You know what I mean?
And you know what? I just noticed that on this one. Let me see the
book.
The book for Beast of Burden.
Level
it does
5.
give you the level that's recommended. So this one is another one by the same author, and this is Corrupting Influence, which I'll give you kind of a look there down in the bottom left-hand corner.
On it there
down
you
in
go.
the bottom left-hand corner. I'm sorry, I guess right-hand corner is where it gives you the level that it's for. So these, the one thing I like about one-shots like this, whoops, and I'm dropping stuff. It's
a lot, isn't it?
Well, and this one, it gives you a book that goes through, and if you want to, gives you the story as far as what's happening, and then it gets to the end. There's a little map here.
All right, everybody. Thank you for watching part 1 of the Game Master Toolbox. Bet you didn't think you were going to see me here, but you did, so you're welcome. And stay tuned for part number 2. Bye, everybody.